Hi, my name is Scott Kelly, and this is my older adult presentation for Social Work 501 that will discuss Eric Anderson's biopsychosocial theory. The first thing to discuss is the developmental stage of my interviewee. My interviewee's name is briefly is named Jerry. He's 92. Um, he does have a few cognitive issues, which we will discuss later in the presentation. But briefly, Erickson, his theory is based on 8 different psychosocial stages of life that everyone will go through in their lifetime. The one that I'll focus on is stage 6, which is intimacy versus isolation, and it's based on an individual's young adult, which is said to be between late adolescence, around 19, to early 40s. During this stage, basically, the individual is reaching out, trying to find relationships, either on a peer level or intimate level, or actually love. The developmental stage 6 that Jerry was in, he actually had 2 primary experiences that were important. And the first one is he was raised in a rural town and very small schools and whatnot. He never had any friends. And yeah, he just never really got out. And this he realized was a cause for being really socially awkward and not understanding how to even form relationships or begin to form relationships with any people. Basically, he explained to me he had one friendship basically all the way up until he was in college, and it was when he was in second grade, and it was with a said to be bad kid, so he was told not to do it. So the other experience that was really important in this life stage for him is he is actually diagnosed with dyslexia and a prosopagnosia. I think I'm saying that right. It's basically a congenital impairment that involves lack of face recognition. So he explained to me he can see the outside of people's faces, their head. Like he recognized I had long hair, but he actually couldn't make out any of my facial features. So these two issues played another big part in his developmental stage, and they have followed him and influenced him heavily throughout his adulthood. Um, the difficult challenges that Jerry had was one of them was his first couple of years in college. Due to him being socially awkward, he spent a lot of time in isolation, pretty much just going to class, going to the library, back to his dorm and just doing schoolwork. We had to really focus hard, due to his dyslexic. But this is the first time he was ever away from home. And it was just him getting actually used to a totally different environment from what he was used to. When I did ask him how he overcame this, because later on in his college career he did reach out and develop some kind of peer structure. He basically, quote was, "I don't know, I just wanted to," which I found interesting. And I kind of asked a little bit more, but he couldn't really say why. He just wanted to. And and eventually he um, became successful in relationships. Um, he also believed that the other biggest accomplishment, which he did stress this more than his relationship with peers, but is earning his bachelor's and his master's degree, which he got in industrial arts, which is something that's no longer offered anymore. And a lot of this is due, especially in his bachelor's, getting his bachelor's. A lot of this is due because of him being dyslexic. He had instructors, um, that just didn't understand him, thought he was slow. They didn't have, any diagnosis of it at the time. And he did say when he was in sixth grade one time, a teacher asked him what he wanted to do. And he said, well, of course, I want to go to college. And his teacher said, quote, Jerry, you're too stupid to go to college. So he overcame that. He still went to college. He told me he barely graduated with his bachelor's, but he did graduate. And then he didn't stop there. He went on to pursue his master's, which he at that time he did find some peers to support him, and he didn't say it got easier, but teachers were a little bit more understanding, and there was more support there, and so that kind of changed his whole environment, especially during his master's. And he did say one thing he's really proud of is that he did graduate with honors, and he has become an author of 6 different books.